Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's time for another installment of the top 5 or so Magic the Gathering sealed boxes that I'm buying or would buy, what I think you could maybe just go either way on, and then also what I would really avoid right now for a number of reasons. Let's get into it. But first, if you like videos like this and you'd like to follow along, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment. It really does go a long way. Up first, my number 1 pick is actually Ikoria right now. It's available for $93.99 from a really reputable seller on eBay. I would pick this up especially because the market price for these boxes is around $110 right now, so this is a pretty good deal. I think it's important to know kind of the bigger hits you could take out of this. So in Ikoria, your box topper, if it's the foil Ghidorah, you're looking at around $89. All of the showcase foil triomes are around $60, and even just the Ozolith, just the normal rare Ozolith, is $22. So I still love Ikoria at $93. I think cards like that are going to keep the price sustained, or at least be part of the reason why it's successful long term, but I love this set. Next up is Strixhaven set boxes in particular. I like these at around the $91 that you can get them for. It's not a huge steal compared to their current market price of around $93. Just remember that you can get some good cards in here that I really like in terms of collectibles. You know, they're all foil borderless, but you know, foil borderless Beledros Witherbloom is $50. Foil borderless Professor Onyx at $28. Foil borderless Shadrick Silverquill, $22. Such a gorgeous card. I absolutely love this one in borderless. It's a great collectible piece to pick up. Add on top of that the Mystic Archives, and I think you've got a set that's just going to continue to age really well long term and be a lot of fun to keep collecting. Next, I'm still keen on Commander Legends. Right now, there's some available for $106 on eBay, again from a reputable seller. The market price for these is around, $115 to $118 or so if you can get them for that. I'm still super high on Commander Legends. It's going out of print imminently. The next product is coming up in a couple months, and again, the heavy hitters are going to buoy this box price for a long time. You've still got, for instance, like Sakashima of 1,000 Faces in foil etch as an alternate is $47, but the big hitters are like Jeweled Lotus at $110, Mana Drain at $65, Vampiric Tutor at $55. They will always be heavy, and I think that cards like that are at the very least going to buoy these boxes, let alone the draft experience and everything else that makes it so unique. So I still like this at this price. I probably wouldn't go much higher than this right here because you're then really relying on some steep returns in a quicker fashion for this to be really worth it. But I think that there's no risk at all in something like this. If you want to play with it, crack it open, $106 is a great deal if you're ready to start ripping packs or perhaps drafting with some of your friends. Similarly, Jumpstart right now, this is sort of the last call for Jumpstart because the second product for Jumpstart is due out later on in the year, and at $88 a box right now, I don't really think it's been much cheaper than like maybe a few dollars less than this in the past few months. I think I saw it maybe at around 83, but at a market price of around 90, you're not getting a deal relative to market. There's no like flash sale or anything going on right now, but this is your last chance, I think, really to get Jumpstart if you want to open some, keep some for playing later. I have a box set aside just for when I meet newer players and I want to shuffle a few up. So this is great. It's a great opportunity to just pick it up. Nothing crazy's happened to it. It hasn't gone up or down in a long time. So I'm still keen on it at that price. I really like it. There's still heavy hitters in this set, despite the fact that it's for newer players. It's still got Allosaurus Shepherd at $75, Rhystic Studies floating around for $43, and even like Exquisite Blood, cool reprints for $40. Also, Modern Horizons 2. I will love this set probably forever. I think everybody else will too. It is so good. It's so full of awesome cards. The draft experience is so awesome. The fact that there's fetch lands inside of it, amazing chase cards. Like it's just nuts. Everybody knows this at this point. It's no secret. This is, to me, like the best product of 2021 at $208 or so on eBay. They're even slightly cheaper on TCG Player at around $205 for the draft boxes. The set boxes, there's a pretty good deal on eBay now for $219. Their market is a little closer to $230, $235. So if you were looking to pick these boxes up to crack and add to your collection, try and pull some cool cards, save for later, whatever, these prices I've seen, this is about as low as I think they're really going to get, because this is just imminently going to be out of print. And I always like to look at some of the more noteworthy cards. So of course, Borderless Ragavan, you can pull that in the draft box. It's $110. Okay, you don't pull the borderless one, you pull the normal one, that's $95. And this card got banned and it's still that expensive. Like Borderless Solitude is another awesome format defining card for $80. Even like the retro frame cards that could show up, retro frame Scalding Tarn at $65. I mean, the list goes on and on. These are just a couple of hand-picked ones right here. But Modern Horizons 2, still an awesome price. If you have been on the fence, I think kind of, it's now or never really for these. Interestingly, I think that Neon Dynasty actually at $90 a box right now is fine. I am kind of stuck on this one. We're going to see price escalation soon in Streets of New Capenna. I think this is the first instance where the distributor price is going to really jump up. Inflation and fuel prices and, just corporate headwind, all that good stuff is rolling into what Wizards made a sort of a formal announcement about with a price increase. So will we see draft boxes, regardless of how popular they are, dip down to like $80 even or something, like they were with some other sets this year? I don't actually think so. I think that around $90 is, especially for a set that, is in demand and people like and they want to buy it, I think that $90 is probably I hate to be so definitive, but I feel like this is the best you're going to do for a long time. Again, this is a very reputable seller on eBay. You'll be able to find it if you look for it. And, at $90, I think that's kind of nuts. You can pull what's also crazy about this set. I don't think we've talked about this enough. In draft boxes alone, you can pull the foil Phyrexian Text Jin Gitaxias. That's at $160 right now. Okay, you don't pull that. You've pulled the foil Phyrexian Text Tameo, $90. Like, there are some really heavy chase cards in just the draft boxes. Forget, the Hidetsugu in the collector boxes. That's just, people are going gangbusters for that right now. There's still just some really heavy stuff I just don't think we've shed enough light on for the draft in the set boxes. So if you can pick up a draft box of Neon Dynasty for $90 and you want to hang on to it, I think that's fine. I really, really do. The set boxes, though, I'll cover that in just a second. I think the set boxes might be a little steep. My last pick here for stuff I would buy or have bought is I'm back on the collector box for Streets of New Capenna. I think two things here. Two very important things. We don't know if there's going to be a chase card yet. If there is a chase card, say goodbye to ever being able to pick these up for $213, like ever. Look at what happened in Neon Dynasty, right? I think $250 is like the floor, and the things just came out. It usually takes a long time for collector boxes to get up to there, even when they're out of print. So I am of the opinion that there's going to be something special enough in these collector boxes. So I'm willing to buy one, and I have, for this price. If there's not, I still think that long term, this particular collector box, like most collector boxes or all collector boxes, will eclipse this number at a certain point. I may have to hold it a little bit longer, but there is, to me, talk about the downside risk. There's no downside risk here. I can buy it now. Okay, maybe I pay a little bit more than I could, if I were getting a deal and there's just no chase card to be found in this set. Or if there is a chase card, then I've gotten an absolute steal along with anybody else that pre-ordered. So not to belabor the point, but I just wanted to put that out there. I would not pre-order more than one at this price just to, give it a shot. So that's what I've done. I'm going to see if it's right. I'm excited to make the follow-up video for that. I'll either eat my own words or say, wow, hey, there's something to this. Maybe they're going to be really consistent with the chase cards going forward. The next sort of group of boxes here, I do want to add some that I think are totally up to you, like they're totally your call. I could go either way, or I'm just kind of maxed out on this stuff, or it's not really a deal. I don't think there are many crazy deals right now, but I do think these are pretty respectable pickups and things to hold, stuff that I like. So for instance, there's Midnight Hunt set boosters available right now for $86.99. That's pretty much their market price. And remember that there are some heavy hitters in Midnight Hunt, like you can pull a foil meat hook massacre. That's at $85. Like, that card is just so heavy. You could also maybe get like foil Arlen the Pax Hope in its showcase frame for $60, or even like borderless foil Ren and 7 for $35. So there's some good stuff that you could pull out of the set box and the draft box. All of these are available in the draft box too. Also, Crimson Vow set boxes are available right now for $85. That's a good buy to me, because this has the extra caveat of the box topper, and its market price is still just a little bit over $100. So I think it's a good buy. But, most importantly here, I don't think that enough is said about the biggest chase card in just draft packs in Crimson Vow, and that is the foil showcase Sorin the Mirthless. Like, this card is at $180 if you can find one somewhere. I mean, that is, to me, that's a chase card. Like, that's worth just as much as one of the Hidetsugu chase cards, by the way. I think I'm going to do a little follow-up blurb on that, but this card's not getting nearly enough attention, I don't think. But beyond that, foil borderless Chandra Dress to Kill at $40 is not bad, and foil showcase Olivia Crimson Bride at $40 is really cool as a pickup too. That's going to be a popular commander for a long time. This card is so fun to play with if you haven't put a deck together. Highly recommend it. Super fun. Speaking of Crimson Vow draft boxes, I'm showing them here at $79. I just saw them on TCG Player, $75 shipped. Hey, you spend $75 on a box, 2 boxes, and you try to go and hunt for that, foil showcase Sorin the Mirthless card. I think that card is actually going to treat these boxes well. I also don't think that standard booster boxes should be $75. I've said this so much at this point. I sound like a broken record, but I still like these at $75. It just depends on whether you do. If you despise this set, don't buy these. You gotta love what you're buying. It sucks all the fun out of it if you're buying these things like stocks. It's just pointless to me. Stick with what makes you happy. Stick with what you think is fun, because at the end of the day, if you want to open this stuff up and just say, you know what, I bought myself a present a long time ago, like a time capsule, I'm just going to open it and play and have fun. Awesome. You're opening something that you're really excited about. That is like critical. You're not going to lose sleep if you do that. So I put this on here just to say, hey, they are still available for $75 until they go out of print. If you're interested, go for it. Another box that I think is cool right now at $95 is Theros Beyond Death. I don't mind picking this up at that price at all. I'm maxed out on this. I'm not interested in acquiring any more, but I think that this is kind of the ceiling for me. Like, I would not really be willing to spend more than that on this set. It is, it's kind of a really straightforward set. It's got the gods in it. It's got some cool stuff. You've got the Nyx lands. And, beyond that, I'm not entirely sure there's something really epic, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because it's a sealed Magic product. It ages over time. But this, to me, is approaching kind of the point where I wouldn't be interested in buying it now as something that's so new. So totally your call. Next up here, this is more of a placeholder, right? Like, the Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms collector boxes. We all know there was just this fire sale at Amazon. I have a segment coming out just as a follow-up to that. I was fortunately able to sneak in and order boxes of each, but I still think, even beyond that, $160 for a collector booster box, you can often find these for $150. This or Crimson Vow or Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, them at these cheaper prices, they still have fun, awesome cards. I mentioned this in a previous video, foil borderless Tiamats and, extended art foil meat hook massacres are really expensive cards. Like a couple decent pulls out of the 12 packs, you've paid for the whole box, So I still think these are fine at this price, but it's up to you. If you don't like these sets, don't buy them. No one's forcing your hand here. But the last one I really want to talk about here is, and this to me is going to be such an interesting long-term story. Neon Dynasty. It's not budging. It's at $250. You might be able to find it for a little bit less than that, but I can all but guarantee you, and who am I, but I really, really, really strongly feel that this is never going to dip below $200, these boxes. I don't know what would make them go down to $200. The odds of you pulling this Hidetsugu card are really slim, but it's the collector box with the chase card. Like, that is so important. I also just love the set. Like, I absolutely love this set. It totally appeals to me. I love owning it. I love holding it. I love collecting the cards out of it. If I, never ended up selling the boxes I've acquired, fine by me. I'm about to open up some incredible pieces to hold on to. So this is up to you at this point. That you are not going to buy this and watch it explode in price tomorrow. These are going to be around, changing hands a little bit here and there. I think that people are going to buy these, think that they're going to go up, and then say, whoa, I just spent $500 on 2 collector boxes. I really need my money back for whatever reason. And these will change hands a little bit here and there. I am anxious to see if there's another wave, but it's up to you whether or not you want to buy into this now. If you think that this is the floor, then buy these for sure. I just firmly believe they will age well. They've got too much inside of them and too much to them conceptually for these to get ignored by people going forward. It's important to know what to avoid too. So just really quickly, shop around, here, for example, Ikoria and Theros. Ikoria at $114 on Amazon and Theros at $118 on Amazon. Like, why? Why would you do that? You can spend 20 something dollars less on these from individual sellers that and can track on eBay. I don't understand why these end up being so disparate from the prices on eBay. Like, maybe people are just banking on folks just kind of one-stop shopping on Amazon and not having a PayPal account or something and or wanting to deal with it. But avoid going here. Like, also, Midnight Hunt draft boosters for $107 is a horrible buy. I wouldn't buy that. And you can see here, we just looked at Neon Dynasty draft boosters for $90. Here, they're $102. And there's some QA, some quality control, concerns at Amazon too. So if you have the opportunity to just get these on Amazon from a more reputable seller, I'd go for it. The set boosters for Neon Dynasty, I'm not entirely sure what a good price for these is yet. I have just not seen them for much lower than, I don't know, 125, 120, 115, somewhere around there. I certainly haven't seen them for $90 like Strixhaven or $88 like Midnight Hunt over here. So I'm not entirely sure where the floor is, but right now I'm not touching these. I don't really need these right now. I'm just willing to wait and see if there's a lower floor for these for sure. One of the things I think that makes some of these boxes interesting, especially, Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt, Ikoria, and Kaldheim. Kaldheim's not on this list. Kaldheim's floating around $95 a box now if you're interested in adding some more. But what I find interesting is, what's the X factor in these boxes? So Ikoria, for example, has the box topper that is a really legitimate box topper. Awesome. That's definitely working for it. Zendikar Rising has the Expedition box toppers. I've covered these in a previous video, so I won't go into it now. But I was talking with someone the other day, and they mentioned that, maybe Kaldheim ages particularly well because it's one of 2 places you can really go and get snow-covered lands. You can dip into Modern Horizons to get them recently, or you can dip into Kaldheim. Kaldheim is your cheapest way to open up brand new snow-covered basics. Does that really matter? I put this comparison together here just to show you. So just in no particular order, there were unique and special basic lands that were a departure from the norm. How did that work out? In Theros Beyond Death, the Nyx lands, they actually have some value. For you to just go buy these from a place like Card Kingdom, they're going to cost you about like a little over $1 a piece. Like $1 a piece is a lot. If they're really worth that, and I'm opening 36 packs, then the basic lands alone are giving me like $36 in value. If I wanted to go buy enough copies of this for a monocolored standard deck, I'd be spending between $1 a copy, if I really wanted to go get that. So if I'm opening the booster box, there's $36 in value, maybe, arguably. How do you view this for what it's worth? Here's a little breakdown. The snow-covered lands in Call Time, they're worth a little more than a normal basic land. Some of them are approaching $1. Some of them are right kind of in the middle. The islands, big surprise, are worth a little bit more if you can pull the islands. But I think that it shows that there is actually a nice little X factor in these boxes beyond box toppers and kind of the chase cards or the big hitters from the set. Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, those lands are those kind of silver screen, black and white, gothic horror lands that they've got. They've actually got a small premium to them, like, again, Island, big surprise, is a little over $1 in Crimson Vow, and one of the swamps is a little over $1 in Midnight Hunt. I also do, personally, I actually really do like these lands. I think the Midnight Hunt ones look better. They have this kind of softer art quality to them. I don't know. Totally subjective, but there's a little something baked into these boxes beyond the chase card. So I think it's nice to see other little X factors like this. I think they're always worth just keeping in mind. Aside from the obvious stuff like box toppers or the crazy chase card that's in a set. So that's it. That's what I'm buying. That's what I have just bought. That's what in theory I would buy. Remember that all of the fun in doing this is just gone if you dig yourself in too deep. Don't go into debt buying cards. Don't go into debt because you think there's just a really good opportunity. You've spent your limit and crazy sale came up. I got to do it. Credit card. Just again, I don't mean to ever sound preachy doing this. I just don't hear anybody mentioning this. And it's really important to just be safe, be responsible, buy carefully, set a budget, set a limit, and just have fun. Buy what you love, what makes you so happy, just like to hold in your hand. That's going to sustain your interest and all of the joy that comes with collecting this game. So that's it. That's my little soapbox. Have fun out there. What are you buying? What are you interested in? Is any of this jumping out at you? Do you have anything that you are kind of maxed out on and you maybe got a better deal than this? Anything and everything in between. I love hearing from everyone here. It's been so awesome. Feel free to share your comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing. All of that really, really helps more than you know. Until the next time that we meet, I will keep my eyes peeled. I love sharing this. My wheels will really be turning. So until then, take care.